Welcome to Inside Outboards with your host, Cody Bass.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Big hello to all the new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't hit that subscribe button right down there, hit that thing and come and join our channel here. So I'm just sitting here talking with Fred. We're just trying to get over the depression we have of Evinrude going under. Fred took it hard, but had to put a little slowage on the outboard action. But I'm gonna show you a couple things, and then we'll jump on that old DT40. But been doing some mowers and such, and so I wanted to show you this old mower. I've had them in here before, never been impressed with them, but I was wondering if you ever seen one of these. It calls itself a self-starter high wheeler. But it's a 6-horse. This has no electric start. There is no battery or no electric start on this thing. But I'm going to show you. We're going to show you. Let me give it a couple squeezy pumpies. That's what it says do. And you see I got a little button here. I don't know if you can see it or not. Yeah, probably not. But I'll get you where you can. Okay. Right up here's a little button. See, if you do this, nothing happens. So you got to push down this button. Now watch the mower. That's what it normally does. So then you do this. Now listen when I let off of this handle, listen to the noise the motor makes. Did you hear that hideous noise? What that was doing was loading up a spring. There's a spring canister, and it loads it up so the next time you push that button, especially after they're warmed, it typically works. So let's see, it should work now. So I'm pushing down the button. Hear that hideous noise? That's the spring loading up. You can kind of see the bottom of the canister right below that fuel hose there. This is made by Yardman. And there's the button I'm talking about. So when I push that button, it grabs a mechanism in here and unloads the spring. So yeah, I've had those come in a couple times over the years. So I had to get that one going, and then there's this. The old Poulon Pro. That one is electric start, but the battery's dead as a doornail, and I ain't replacing it. But then I got my old mule out, that piece of junk, but it runs. And I'm gonna make me a little mower deck to pull behind that hideous looking thing. But anyway, I had to finish up some mowers and some mowers and some mowers. But now it's time to get back on the old DT40. 40 Suzuki. So the first thing we're going to do is do a very doubtful spark check, because like I said, people have been messing around. So let me get my spark spider set up and we'll start on this thing. Be right back. Well, I'm still doing the facts check on this guy, and I'm seeing things I'm not liking. Do you see the string right here wrapped around this bolt? Well, you got the bolt way out here, and then you've got the string wrapped around here. I'm guessing they either had the wrong size bolt, but to me, this shouldn't be like this. So I think he's got some warpage problems, some head problems. So I do believe the power pack, CD coil, and all that shot. We have no spark. So let's do us a compression check here on this thing and see what we're getting. Let's do the bottom. The bottom A. There we go. We got to do the bottom. Okay, let me move these. Yeah, so I got the compression tester hooked up. Bottom, we are zeroed out. So, let's see if I can pull this thing. Woo. Well, I got 100, probably about 110. On the bottom. We're zeroed out on the top. And I got 190, 95, 100, 105 on the top. But boy, something ain't right with that head there. So, easily. Yeah, that's not right. I mean, I can get that thing good ½ inch down in there. Got this rope. Oh boy. And I don't think I have a used Suzuki CDI coil unit, so unless this guy's going to want to, I mean, right off the bat I can tell, just looking at that head and gasket, I know he's going to, before I would call this an adequate repair, there's something got to be done with that head. So he's going to need a head gasket. I mean, that ain't right. I don't know if this is stripped out in here or what. But he's also the CDI coil unit is shot. I may or may not have one of them. I'm not sure. Just have to look. So let me go look and see if I do happen to have one of them. And then also he would for sure need at a minimum a water pump impeller. So the way it sounded, he didn't have a lot of hopes and didn't want to spend a lot of money on this thing. So, and unfortunately, that's what it's going to take. It's going to take some money. I will go look and see if I have a coil power pack. I might, but never know. But if I don't have that, I'm sure that one piece, that one component is several $100s. And with the overall condition of the rest of the motor, don't know. It's up to the owner. Let me go see if I got a power pack coil. I'll be back. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the tank so I can really pull on this thing. I can't do that when it's swinging all around. Okay. Now I shot that tri-flow in the cylinders. Now I should be able to see what we get. There you go. As you can see, it has spark. She popped over good there. And the wiring is still a mess, but hopefully you can see the smoke coming up out of there and everything. She popped over good. So next I'm going to continue that process. There she is. There you go. So, she's wanting to run. Oh, we gotta get this carb off of here. And, you know, well, I guess that's what I'll do. I'm gonna take the carb off and get it all taken apart and cleaned, and then I think I'll block up the intake, take off the power pack again, and hose this thing down with brake clean and then with some purple power and get the thing cleaned up. But she's got spark and she'll fire over, she'll run, and she's got 100 to 110 compression per cylinder. I do believe there's going to be a head gasket problem back there, but we'll address that when we get to it. But I mean, it's got compression, so it's not great, but before I proceed any further, I guess I need to call the owner of this engine and go, look, you're going to have to spend some money, because the engine, I don't know the exact year of it, but it is quite old. So let me get that carb off. It's just a couple pieces of linkage and a couple of nuts, and it'll come right off. Then I'll make up my mind where I'm going to go from there after I make a phone call. I'll be back. Alright, we're off to see the crusher, man. A lot of good parts in there, but I just have too many of them. And some I can never use. So, got to get some air in that back tire. She's a little low. All that weight in there. So, we're off to the old scrapyard. Alright, so I got the old DT40 out of the tank. And started removing a bunch of the stuff that I don't see as necessary on this motor. If you look at it in the earlier video, you can see all this had wires and plastic stuff. I removed the VRO tank, the VRO unit. When I say unit, I mean the little plastic regulator that drives the pump. And all I did to block that off was just cut the hose, put a screw and a zip tie in it, and then I snap it right there, like it was meant to go there. So what I'm going to do with the engine block itself, power head, you can see all this old, well, you can't, this old scale here. I believe at some point she got very hot, or that could just be salt. He said it's been sitting for about 8 years, but it's got spark down. I got it to pop over, and this thing had an oil light for low oil to the VRO tank. It had dual kill switches, and you can see what I did there. This is the oil light. This is the low, no, this is the oil light, and this was a man overboard cap that went on here, which I've never been fond of, not one of Suzuki's better designs. If I want a man overboard switch, I'll put a good one on there. So when you get all this crap off there, there's actually a 2-stroke 40 horsepower engine under all that mess. I still got more stuff to clean up. Like I said, I don't have the power pack mounted. I just got the ground wire, so I'll get the case that comes that'll all be tucked in nice and neat. This is for your VRO pump light. And if it had a rectifier on it, it would be for that and all. I'll tuck that all in nice. And then I'm just going to give the thing a good washing with purple power. Probably take some old gas first, see if I can get some of this, whatever that is they put on there. But you can see, so far, that's all the wiring and stuff that I've taken off of it and the VRO tank. I'm not putting the VRO back on. This is going to be a mix 50-to-1 motor. So once I get everything cleaned, I'll get in there, and when I get done with this thing, hopefully it'll look nice and everything will have a place, and every place will have a thing. Know what I'm saying? Understand? Alright. So there's the old Carburetor. She's pretty yummy looking. Spilt me some oil there when I took that little regulator off. Okay, let's open up this very dirty, nasty. It's nasty. See all that yuck on there? Just nasty. So let's open this thing up. Let's open it up. Boo. Where's my zipper gun? So, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. See what we get inside. Let's see what we get inside. Ooh, not that bad. Not that bad at all. Looks pretty good inside there. Not too nasty at all. But we'll still be good for good cleaning. So we got some needles and flotsams and stuff we need to take out. Yeah, but overall looking pretty good. A little jet action, we'll get that all out of there and get it all cleaned up. So, I'm going to get that apart the rest of the way. Take them jets. I have my little screwdriver over here. I've got one of them. Well, this one ain't probably going to do it. No. Let me get a better screwdriver. Well, let's go ahead and try and take this guy out. That's an all-the-way seat deal, I think. Feels like it. Yeah. So we got to get in there regardless. A little bit. Got a particular screwdriver I like, and it took me a while to find it. It's got the old spring there, you know, for the needle. Everything. Okay. There's that little guy. Now let's take out that top one. As we can. Yeah, this one's a little tight here. Got to be careful. There's that one. So she's pretty nasty. So the first thing I think I'm going to do is just give her a good, my needle, and my float. There's my needle. There's my needle. Not too bad. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is just give her a good scrub with Purple Power. And then I'll get her into my ultrasonic cleaner and buzz her for about 5-10 minutes. So let me get that started. Now the way this old Purple Power works is you gotta put it on, make a good scrub and lather and stuff, and then let it sit for about 5-10 minutes. That old gasket's coming apart on me. We scraped the rest of that off there. She's dirty. So I'm gonna let this sit for a minute or 2 or 5, and I'll be back. Then we'll rinse it off. Looks a little better. And now into the old ultrasonic cleaner. I got the heat on there. So we'll give it a bubble. So, now we're going to turn our attention back to this guy. Okay, I just got some old Gasolinos, and I'm going to see if I can slosh this around, because I'm out of brake clean. So I'm going to slosh this around on this power. Ooh, treasures. I have found treasures. See, I got a plastic thingy and a washer. Treasures. So we're just going to take this old gas and see if it'll cut it down before I give it the purple power. See if I can get some of this old funk. Bunk diddy bunk diddy bunk. Weird. See if I can get some of this here funksums off of this power head. Looks like I'm gonna have to do more than funk and purple power over here. It looks like I'm gonna have to get in there with a wire brush. But it's cutting that crap, whatever it is. Somebody told me the name of this stuff they spray on there one time. I can't remember it. Whoop, see that? See that pretty silverish gray paint starting to come through? Get all down in that pan and everything. And then I'll rinse this off. Regular old fresh waters. You better put some water on it. So you're getting the idea here. Okay, so we've got the carburetor off. We got spark to the motor. We got good compression. I've got the carburetor apart. It's in the ultrasonic cleaner. That's the fizzle that you hear behind me. And I got the block drying out there, the power head drying out there, and so I think that's going to be a wrap on this one. Starting to get a little bit late, and I'm kind of at that point, that current. I'm right there to where I want things kind of dry, and then I got to go through this carburetor more and clean it more, air blast it, put a little squirtum stuff in there and get it all ready to go. I've got the VRO removed. I am not going back with it because of the age of this motor and the age of those components. You'll understand. And I got big old giant bumblebee flying around in here. Can you hear it? Sound like a DC-10. I don't know what that is, but he sounds like one. But anyway, so we're at that point that I'm going to let things dry and get them all air blown and everything, and then we'll get it back together and see if this thing is going to go boom boom. And somebody's pulling up out there right now, even though it's kind of late. So that's going to be a wrap. Thank you for watching.
Stay tuned for part 3 on Inside Outboards with Cody Bass.